Now I'm going to invite up on stage Arush Chopra, CEO Just Herbs, our gifting partner, a second-generation entrepreneur who joined the family business. He transformed it from contract manufacturing for natural cosmetic companies into one of India's fastest-growing internet-driven natural beauty brands under the label Just Herbs. Arush?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. I feel bad I couldn't make it earlier in the day. I missed quite a bit of the amazing content being discussed here. Had a very bad flight delay in the morning, so I was stuck at the airport for 5 hours, but I'm quite happy that I'm here now. So this conversation that I want to have with you here is not a prepared speech or anything. I just want to talk a little bit about what Just Herbs is all about, what we're trying to do, and tell you a bit about my journey. So basically, I was working in Singapore in private equity. I was working in the typical corporate 9-to-5 rat race type of a life. Both my wife and I. I was doing that for about 4 years, and I never knew a thing about beauty. And there was no interest. Absolutely, I didn't want to do anything around cosmetics. Wasn't even remotely interested in it. But my mother, she was a biochemist. She worked in the wrong career for the longest part of her life. And one fine day, she realized that I can't do this anymore. She was a banker after being a biochemist. And she decided what a soul-killing job that was. So she decided to give that up, study Ayurveda, study yoga, because that's what she wanted to do. That's what she was interested in. And this was back in 2002, when it wasn't as attractive a sector business-wise as it is today. So she was doing this on the side, and whilst I was growing up, I would actually bring little lotions and potions from my mom and gift them to my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and to my female friends. And they would always come back and ask me, this stuff is bloody good. Where do you get it? Why can't we go buy it in a beauty store? Why can't we buy it anywhere? And that's what led me to believe that, look, there is this country where there's a tremendous potential for consumer products, and at the same time we have these amazing recipes in the family. So what are we doing sitting in Singapore, making PowerPoint presentations all day and acting all corporate when I should actually go back and take this up full time? So my wife and I, in the November of 2013, we decided to move back to Chandigarh. That's where I live. That's where I'm coming from this morning. And so a lot of people advised us that you should make an office in Delhi, that's where all the action is, or go to Bombay, that's where, that's the thick of the action. So we decided, no, we like to breathe fresh air, we like to, have a life. So we'll go sit at the source of the products. So both my wife and I, we own a small industrial unit in Chandigarh, that's where we started. And, there was a lot of, a free advice, as you call it, in a typical Punjabi household. So a lot of people would tell you, why does the world need yet another natural beauty brand? This market is so cluttered. What have you done? You were leading a very good life back in Singapore. Why have you come back? So we had to fight a lot of that resistance. And we had to ask ourselves, really, why does the world actually need yet another beauty brand? So if you look at the beauty market today, you'll find lots of players. It's a bit of a gold rush. Everybody just puts a picture of a leaf on the label and the product becomes organic. Sadly, the rules in this country are very lax around what is organic, what is natural. People can get away without listing out ingredients in full. Although on the surface it looks like it's a very crowded market, but if you do a deep dive, if you just scratch the surface, you will find that there's very few players who are actually walking the talk, who are actually doing what they're actually saying on the label. So we wanted to create a brand which is basically 3 things. The first thing was safety. So we are consumers before we are businessmen, right? So we wanted to create a brand where you can pick up anything with your eyes closed. Okay, so there's no parabens, no sulfates, no GMOs. Basically, anything you pick up from the range is 100% safe to use for you and for your family. The second thing about Just Herbs is honesty. So we are among the handful of Indian beauty companies who actually list out ingredients in full on the product label. So, the next time you pick up a beauty product, please read the ingredient list instead of smelling it, and you will find that most people are going to say this has rose, chandan, and neem, and the rest of it is lotion base, base QS, cream base, and that's like 93% of the product. It's like saying this is a glass of milk and I put 1 spoon of Bonvita in it, and this is a glass of Bonvita. No, it's not. It's a glass of milk with 1 spoon of Bonvita. Please spell it out that way. So as a consumer, I don't even know what is it that I'm putting on my skin, what is it that I'm using on my baby's skin, right? So we wanted to change that. So we list out ingredients in full. The other thing is that, oftentimes we hear chemicals are bad. The world is going to come to an end because of all these chemicals. We're all going to die because chemicals are so bad. Nothing could be further than the truth, right? I mean, you and I are made up of chemicals. There's chemicals inside our bodies. Plants are made up of chemicals. They're called phytochemicals. So let's not indulge in this sort of fear-mongering. So we wanted to create a brand which is absolutely, pardon the language, but a no bullshit sort of a beauty brand, right? So we don't want to sort of say things just for the heck of it. So anything from the collection is a minimum of 98.2 to 100% natural. And the percentage of naturalness is written on each and every product, so you exactly know what you're buying. So I've covered safety, I've covered honesty, and the third and the most important thing from a consumer point of view, which we thought was missing in the market, was natural products that actually work. So us Indians have used haldi, besan, chandan, on our faces from, times immemorial. But it's also a fact that if I have to go for a party or I have to go for a wedding, I must go to the parlor and get a facial. And I don't care if it's chemicals, so long as it brings me instant results. That's usually how a consumer, we found, felt. So there's always a price you're paying for a product either being safe or effective. It's always either or. Now, we wanted to create something which is both safe and effective, and that's what Just Herbs seeks to do. So there's facial oils, there's serums, there's very targeted products for pigmentation. It's not about fragrance. You don't buy Just Herbs because it smells very good. You buy it because it does something in a completely natural way. So safety, honesty, and effectiveness were the 3 attributes that we thought we needed to bring to the market at a product level. But the more interesting thing about Just Herbs and what we're doing here is, and which links to this particular audience, is the role of community in creating products. So Just Herbs has now become India's first beauty brand to actually crowdsource product development. So what we've seen is that beauty as an industry has been very top-down. For the past 20 years, there has hardly been any innovation in the way beauty companies come up with new product ideas. Okay, so it's basically like this. Let me get an ingredient from Morocco. It's called argan oil, and let me exalt the virtues of argan oil by advertising a lot about it. Let me throw some more money on it to create a trend, and then let me tell you that this is good for you. In all of this, there's one thing which is missing. Nobody's ever asked you, what do you want? Okay, so the beauty industry has always been top-down. You've been told what ideals to follow, what you should look like, what products you should be using, what ingredients you should be using. We wanted to change all of that. We wanted to take a bottom-up approach because, after all, the millennial, right, today is living in a pick and choose world. You don't want to be told what to watch on TV. You want to stream yourself on Netflix and seek out what you want. So how we did that was that anybody who shops Just Herbs more than 2 times on our website gets an email to join a closed Facebook group. We call it the Just Herbs Insider Group. And this group has about, just like the SHEROES app, we have about 1,500 die-hard loyalists, very hardcore Just Herbs users in this community of people who have access to me, who have access to Megha, who have access to the entire team. They can give us galis, they can praise us, they can reach out to us anytime they want. If the pump on your bottle doesn't work, you can reach out to us and we'll send you a replacement. That type of very personalized type of a service. And these are women from across the country, from east to the north, south to the west, with different skin types, different cultures, different occupations. We asked them, we're making a new product, what do you think it should be? And we were told that, look, we are working women, we don't have time for makeup. We do like to look flawless, we do like the no makeup, dewy type of a look, but we don't like foundations that crack up on our faces. So if you could make like a no fuss type of a product that I could just slather on in the morning, and my skin, my blemishes and everything are hidden. It gives me a nice dewy look. That'll be great. So we thought that was a great idea. So we got down to work. We made prototypes of such a product. So we made small little jars, jar A, B, C, and D, and we shipped out about 1,500 of these across the country in small envelopes. After that, we sent them, forms, basic, simple Google forms, asking them for their feedback. And the questions were around which one did you like more, A, B, C, or D? If you liked A, why? How was the texture? How was the fragrance? What could be improved? Things like that. And the response was tremendous. Two things happened. When we launched the final product, which we call the Herb Enriched Skin Tint, not only were people ready to buy it even before it was launched, because they were involved in the process, but also they told friends about it. There was it just went viral, so there was virality built into it right from the word go, which became interesting for a lot of media outlets who wrote about us, who talked about the fact that given the high failure rate of new product development in the beauty industry, here's this little company based in Chandigarh trying to do something new. So that really helped us. And secondly, what it did was that it brought us close to our customers. So we kind of understood what we should be doing, and it gave us direction as a company on how we should be developing newer products, and we're going to be crowdsourced more. Sure enough, after 3 months, we got told that this shade of the tint doesn't suit me because I'm slightly darker or I'm slightly fairer. Can you make a more inclusive product? And we were like, sure, why not? We then opened the crowdsource to our community on Facebook of about 2 lakh women, about 36,000 women on Instagram, and we asked them to come crowdsource with us again, and this time with a larger number of about 3,500 samples were sent out. And now we have 5 shades in the product to suit every skin type across the country, from the north to the south, from the east to the west. So this is what our vision is. We want to be a company which is seen as innovating, seen as pushing the status quo in a very formulaic, in a very set, trend-driven industry such as beauty in India. And this is basically what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much, Arush.